Back then, Fantasy Island was every viewer's dream. Everyone wished they could live there just once, until tragedy struck in real life. Some died young, some suffered long illnesses, and others walked away from Hollywood forever. Join us as we remember these beloved actors and honor the legacies they left behind. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go. Erve Villichez as Tattoo. Erve Villichez was 34 years old when he became a worldwide star for his role as Tattoo, the small, quick-witted, and cheerful assistant to Mr. Rourke on Fantasy Island in 1977. His catchphrase, de plan, became one of television's most famous lines. But behind that laughter was a lonely soul, full of pain and despair. Erve Villichez was born on April 23, 1943, in Paris, France. As an adult, he lived with deep insecurities about his appearance due to dwarfism, which caused chronic pain and difficulty walking. His love life brought him little happiness. His first marriage to artist Anne Sadowski ended in 1979 amid infidelity and public ridicule. His second marriage to actress Camille Hagan collapsed after just over a year, as alcohol abuse and severe depression consumed him. 2 failed marriages left him isolated, withdrawn, and increasingly hopeless. His physical pain grew unbearable. Internal organ enlargement put pressure on his chest, making it hard to breathe and causing endless sleepless nights. He turned to alcohol and medication for relief, but sank deeper into despair. Though he only accumulated about $1 million from Fantasy Island and a few supporting roles, he maintained the pride of an actor once loved by audiences around the world. On September 4, 1993, in his North Hollywood home, Villichez ended his life with a gun at the age of 50. His ashes were scattered over the Pacific Ocean. His life ended in sorrow, but the joy he gave to millions lives on, immortal in the memories of those who once smiled because of him. Ricardo Montalban, as Mr. Rourke. At 57 years old, Ricardo Montalban played Mr. Rourke, the mysterious host of Fantasy Island in 1977. Dressed in his white suit and speaking in that calm, velvety voice, he became the soul of 158 episodes, a symbol of authority, serenity, and a smile that hid countless secrets. The role made Ricardo a global icon, but behind the glamour was a life filled with both physical and emotional pain. Ricardo Montalban was born on November 25, 1920, in Mexico City, Mexico. He married actress Georgiana Young in 1944, the woman he fell in love with the moment they met. They had 4 children and stayed together for more than 6 decades, though their marriage was far from peaceful. As his career skyrocketed in Hollywood, they faced the pressure of fame and the discrimination he endured as a Latino actor, which often left him stressed and disheartened. The couple tried to hold their family together while he struggled with chronic spinal pain that worsened over the years, slowly draining his health and spirit. By the end of his life, the back injury had grown so severe that he needed a wheelchair and lived with constant pain. Yet, he remained optimistic, faithful, and at peace, cherishing the memories of his wife, who had passed away in 2007. His net worth was estimated at around $20 million, the reward of 70 years of hard work in film and advertising. On January 14, 2009, Ricardo Montalban passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 88 due to congestive heart failure. He was laid to rest at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California, beside the love of his life. His story ended gently, just like the calm, enigmatic presence of Mr. Rourke himself, Christopher Huitt as Lawrence. At 62 years old, Christopher Huitt appeared in Fantasy Island in 1983, playing Lawrence, the refined butler who replaced Tattoo in the show's final 10 episodes. With his tall frame, elegant British accent, and calm gaze, he brought an air of grace and melancholy to the island. Though his appearance was brief, his image remained a symbol of composure and sophistication. Christopher Huitt was born on April 5, 1921, in Worthing, England. He went through 2 turbulent marriages, The first ended due to the pressures of a demanding stage career, and the second, to an Englishwoman, also fell apart because of irreconcilable differences. Loneliness eventually led him to religion as a source of comfort. After his divorces, he devoted most of his time to serving at St. Victor's Church in West Hollywood, living a quiet life far removed from the glamour of Hollywood. In his later years, Huitt battled diabetes and severe arthritis, which weakened his body and made movement increasingly difficult. Despite the chronic pain, he maintained his poise, occasionally attending small church and arts community events. Even as his health declined, he remained optimistic, finding strength in his faith. His net worth at the time was around $2 million, earned mostly from his television and stage career, particularly his beloved role in Mr. Belvedere. Christopher Huitt passed away on August 3, 2001 in Los Angeles, at the age of 80, from complications of diabetes. His memorial service was held at St. Victor's Church, where he had served for many years. His life ended peacefully, that of an artist who chose the light of faith to guide his final years. Dennis Cole as Captain Jeff Bailey. Dennis Cole was 38 years old when he took on the role of Captain Jeff Bailey, the charming and strong commander who appeared in Fantasy Island in 1978. With his handsome looks and confident presence, he became a familiar face on 1970s television, a true symbol of classic masculinity. But behind the camera, his life was filled with heartbreak and solitude. Dennis Cole was born on July 19, 1940, in Detroit, Michigan. He married actress Jacqueline Smith in 1978, a romance once celebrated as an angel meets a hero. But the marriage crumbled by 1981 due to jealousy and demanding work schedules. Before that, he had a son, Joe Cole, from his first marriage to Sally Bergeron. In 1991, Joe was shot to death during a robbery in Venice, Los Angeles, a crime that remains unsolved to this day. The loss devastated Dennis, who left Hollywood and became an outspoken advocate against television violence, though his heart never recovered from losing his son. In the following years, he developed severe kidney disease, requiring frequent dialysis. His body weakened, his spirit exhausted, yet he tried to maintain his real estate business in Florida with his third wife, Marjorie Cole. That marriage, too, ended in divorce and legal disputes, leaving him alone to face illness and decline. His estimated net worth at the time was around $3 million, primarily from acting and real estate ventures. On November 15, 2009, Dennis Cole passed away in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the age of 69 due to complications from kidney failure. He was buried at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Hollywood Hills. A beautiful yet tragic life, that of a father who lost his son and an artist who carried a wounded heart to the very end. Phyllis Davis as Christy Robbins. At 39 years old, Phyllis Davis played Christy Robbins, a beautiful, intelligent, and mysterious woman in Fantasy Island in 1979. Radiant and captivating, Phyllis became one of the show's highlights, embodying a sweet yet melancholic beauty. But behind those mesmerizing eyes was the story of a lonely woman who spent her life searching for peace she could never quite find. Phyllis Davis was born on July 17, 1940 in Port Arthur, Texas. Her brief marriage ended bitterly, leading her to remain single and devote herself entirely to her acting career. Although she became famous through Love, American Style, and Vega Dollar Sign, the spotlight could never fill the emptiness inside her. As middle age arrived, Phyllis faced her greatest fear: loneliness, as one by one the relationships in her life faded away. In her final years, she battled stage 4 lung cancer. Lengthy chemotherapy left her frail, with thinning hair and significant weight loss, yet she kept her illness private. She chose silence, spending her last days peacefully in Nevada. Her estimated net worth at the time of her passing was around $2.5 million, the reward for a lifetime of work in film and modeling, including her time as a Playboy model. On September 27, 2013, Phyllis Davis passed away in Henderson, Nevada at the age of 73. Her death shocked Hollywood, as she left the world as quietly as she had lived, without drama or tears, leaving behind only the image of a woman whose beauty once enchanted millions. Maryanne Mobley as Amanda DeHaven. In Fantasy Island, 1978, Maryanne Mobley was 41 years old when she portrayed Amanda DeHaven, a graceful and elegant woman who reflected her real-life persona, a beauty icon who once brought pride to America. Before entering television, Maryanne was already world-famous as Miss America 1959, a title that opened the door to a dazzling film career, but also 2 years of loneliness and quiet suffering. Maryanne Mobley was born on February 17, 1937, in Biloxi, Mississippi. In 1967, she married actor Gary Collins, forming one of Hollywood's power couples at the time. However, their marriage soon faced turmoil due to Collins's alcoholism and professional pressures. Though they separated, they never formally divorced. Maryanne lived in emotional conflict, torn between loyalty and the sorrow of watching her husband self-destruct. When Gary Collins died in 2012, she lost the man she still deeply loved despite all the pain. In her final years, breast cancer returned and relentlessly tormented her. The prolonged chemotherapy caused her immense physical and emotional pain, yet she always kept a brave smile in public. She also suffered from Crohn's disease, which rapidly deteriorated her health. Despite her suffering, Maryanne remained active in charity work and medical research fundraising. Her net worth was estimated at about $3 million. A modest sum, but her integrity and grace were worth far more than money. On December 9, 2014, Maryanne Mobley passed away in Beverly Hills, California, at the age of 77, from complications of breast cancer. She died just 2 years after her husband, as if she had been waiting to reunite with him in another world. Her story is not only one of beauty, but also of resilience and a love that never faded with time. Ken Berry as Eddie. At 45 years old, Ken Berry appeared in Fantasy Island in 1978 as Eddie, a kind, optimistic, and slightly clumsy man who brought moments of warmth and lightness to the island's more dramatic tales. Though only a guest role, Ken left a lasting impression with his gentle demeanor and natural charm, perfectly fitting the good man of America image he had built throughout his career. Ken Berry was born on November 3, 1933, in Moline, Illinois. In 1960, he married actress Jackie Joseph, a marriage once seen as a model of Hollywood stability, until tragedy struck when their first son died just 6 days after birth. That loss changed them forever. They went on to adopt 2 children, John and Jennifer, but the marriage ended in 1977 due to career pressures and irreconcilable differences. Despite the divorce, Ken and Jackie remained close friends for life. Later, he entered a long-term relationship with Susie Walsh that lasted over 2 decades. Yet his later years were overshadowed by deep loneliness and grief, as both of his adopted children eventually passed away. In his final years, Ken suffered from severe heart complications. Angina attacks and fatigue forced him to retire from acting. Even as his health declined, he maintained a simple life, spending time restoring vintage cars and taking peaceful camping trips around Los Angeles. His estimated net worth was about $4 million, earned mainly from his leading roles in Mayberry RFD and Mama's Family. On December 1, 2018, Ken Berry passed away in Burbank, California, at the age of 85, due to heart failure complications. He departed peacefully, leaving behind a legacy as a gentle, humble, and dedicated performer, loved not only for his talent, but also for his kindness and integrity. Stuart Wittmann as Charles Wesley. At 50 years old, Stuart Wittmann portrayed Charles Wesley, a rugged, strong, and mysterious man, in Fantasy Island in 1978. With his masculine looks, deep voice, and soulful eyes, he embodied the ideal image of a Western hero. Though only a guest star for a few episodes, he brought a rare depth to the role, blending pride and loneliness, the mark of a man who had truly lived. Stuart Wittmann was born on February 1st, 1928, in San Francisco, California. He married 3 times, and each marriage ended in heartbreak. His first, with Patricia Lalonde, lasted 14 years and produced 4 children, but fame strained their relationship beyond repair. His second marriage, to the gentle Frenchwoman Caroline Boubies, collapsed after 8 years. In 2006, at age 78, he married Julia Paradis, a Russian woman he had met more than 3 decades earlier. They remained together until his death, though the scars of his past marriages never fully healed. In his later years, Wittmann battled terminal skin cancer. The disease weakened his body, causing painful blistering and sleepless nights. Despite this, he faced it calmly, often telling his grandchildren that he had lived a full life. His estimated net worth was around $5 million, earned from hundreds of Western roles and especially from The Mark, the 1961 film that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. On March 16, 2020, Stuart Wittmann passed away at his home in Montecito, California, at the age of 92 from skin cancer. He is remembered as one of the last true gentlemen of classic Hollywood. Carol Lindley as Catherine Harris. At 35 years old, Carol Lindley portrayed Catherine Harris, a beautiful and mysterious woman who arrived on the island seeking to reclaim her lost happiness, in Fantasy Island, 1977. Amid the show's dreamlike atmosphere, Carol made audiences feel that her character wasn't just chasing a fantasy, but running from a painful past. Her performance gave Catherine Harris an unforgettable presence, making her one of the most memorable guest stars in the series. Carol Lindley was born on February 13, 1942, in New York City. In 1960, she married journalist Michael Selzman, and they had 1 daughter, Jill. But just 4 years later, the marriage ended. After the divorce, she lived alone, balancing single motherhood with the harsh realities of Hollywood. Though her career stayed bright, her heart wandered through short-lived romances and one long, complicated 18-year relationship with British journalist David Frost. That love brought moments of joy, but also years of waiting and loneliness. In her later years, Lindley battled heart disease. Her body grew weaker, yet she continued to appear at fan gatherings, always wearing a warm smile to mask the pain inside. With a net worth of about $2 million, she lived simply, spending her days with her daughter and old friends from the industry. But eventually, her fragile heart could no longer withstand the weight of time. On September 3, 2019, Carol Lindley passed away at her home in Pacific Palisades, California, from a heart attack at the age of 77. She was cremated, and her ashes were scattered off the Southern California coast. Her life ended quietly, like a soft, melancholy note in the long symphony of Hollywood. Peter Graves as Singapore Eddie Malone. Peter Graves was 52 years old when he appeared in Fantasy Island, 1978, as Singapore Eddie Malone, a man haunted by his criminal past, seeking redemption on the island. His cold, remorseful eyes and calm, dignified presence gave the character an irresistible depth. Beneath that composed exterior was the reflection of a real man burdened by guilt and yearning for peace. Peter Graves was born on March 18, 1926, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. In 1950, he married Joan Endress, the woman who remained by his side for over 60 years. They had 3 daughters and were considered one of Hollywood's most enduring and exemplary couples. But behind the glamour, Graves privately struggled with bouts of depression, especially as Joan's health began to decline with age. He devoted his later years to caring for her, and when she passed away, his world seemed to collapse. His own health soon deteriorated. He developed chronic anxiety that led to heart complications. Still, he maintained a disciplined lifestyle and continued to participate in community and charitable activities. With an estimated net worth of around $8 million, he lived comfortably. But for Graves, true wealth was found in family and faith. On March 14, 2010, just 4 days before his 84th birthday, Peter Graves died suddenly of a heart attack outside his Los Angeles home. His daughter attempted resuscitation, but it was too late. He passed away surrounded by his loved ones, closing the final chapter of a life defined by grace, integrity, and quiet strength. Rody McDow as Christopher Lantry. At 51 years old, Rody McDow portrayed Christopher Lantry, a lonely man caught between past and present, burdened by unspoken secrets, in Fantasy Island, 1979. With his quiet demeanor and haunting eyes, he made audiences feel both curiosity and compassion. McDowell's character was more than a guest role. He symbolized lost souls searching for redemption, much like the actor himself. Rody McDow was born on September 17, 1928, in London, England. He never married, kept his personal life private, and chose to live quietly amid Hollywood's chaos. Rumors about his sexuality caused him great emotional strain in an era when such matters were taboo. McDowell shared a deep and painful relationship with fellow actor Montgomery Clift, and after their breakup, he reportedly fell into such despair that he once attempted to end his life. Yet he remained loyal to Clift's memory, always speaking of him with respect and affection. In his later years, McDowell battled lung cancer. He lived simply, devoting his remaining energy to photography, his greatest passion outside acting. Though illness slowly consumed his body, he maintained his calm and refined demeanor. His estimated net worth at the time of his death was around $4 million, accumulated from decades in film and television, as well as from his highly collectible photography work. On October 3, 1998, Rody McDow passed away at his home in Studio City, Los Angeles, at the age of 70 from lung cancer. His ashes were scattered over the Pacific Ocean. He departed quietly, just as he had lived, discreetly, gracefully, yet leaving a profound mark on the hearts of those who loved cinema. John Saxon as Colin MacArthur. John Saxon was 42 years old when he appeared in Fantasy Island, 1978, as Colin MacArthur, a strong, fighter-like man who came to the island seeking to change his destiny after a lifetime of mistakes. With his steely gaze, confident stance, and commanding presence, he became one of the most striking guest stars of that season. Though he appeared in only a few episodes, Saxon impressed audiences with a rare combination of toughness and humanity. John Saxon was born on August 5, 1936, in Brooklyn, New York. He endured 3 turbulent marriages, all ending in divorce. His first wife, Maryanne Saxon, bore him a son, Antonio, but their marriage crumbled as his fame and ambition took over. His later marriages, to psychologist Elizabeth Phillips and to model Gloria Martell, also failed to bring lasting happiness. Admired for his good looks and suave demeanor, Saxon nonetheless spent his later years in solitude. In his final years, he suffered from severe pneumonia that rapidly weakened his health. Despite his illness, Saxon continued attending film conventions, smiling warmly at fans, and reminiscing about his friendship with Bruce Lee, his legendary co-star in Enter the Dragon. His estimated net worth was around $1.5 million, largely from his work in classic action and martial arts films. On July 25, 2020, John Saxon passed away in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, at the age of 83, from complications of pneumonia. He was laid to rest at Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, near the grave of Bruce Lee, his lifelong friend and the man he deeply admired. Wendy Shawl as Julie. At 29 years old, Wendy Shawl played Julie, Mr. Rourke's youthful niece and devoted assistant, who brought warmth, kindness, and a touch of innocence to Fantasy Island in 1983. With her open personality, gentle smile, and deep empathy, Julie became the bridge between the lost guests and the island's magical world. The role made Wendy a beloved and recognizable face among television audiences. Wendy Shawl was born on July 2, 1954, in Chicago, Illinois. In 1977, she married Stephen Schwartz, but the marriage lasted only 10 years before ending in divorce in 1987. They had 2 children together, and afterward, Wendy chose to remain single, balancing motherhood with her entertainment career. Raising children while working full-time brought financial and emotional pressures, yet Wendy never complained. Free from major health issues, Wendy Shawl has remained active and passionate about her craft. Since 2005, she has focused on voice acting, achieving lasting success as Francine Smith in the hit animated series American Dad, a role that firmly established her in a new field. In 2021, Wendy remarried, tying the knot with Michael Hogan, and has since enjoyed a peaceful life surrounded by family and creative work. Her net worth in 2025 is estimated at around $2 million, earned mainly through television and voiceover projects. Today, at 71 years old, Wendy Shawl continues to work in entertainment. She frequently appears at Fantasy Island reunion events, engaging with fans and sharing stories from her golden years on the show. To audiences, Wendy will always be Julie, Barbie Benton as Bunny Kelly. Barbie Benton was 27 years old when she appeared in Fantasy Island, 1977, as Bunny Kelly, a beautiful, confident woman longing to rediscover her true self beyond fame and glamour. With her sweet allure and emotional depth, Barbie brought Bunny to life as a woman both charming and wounded, leaving a lasting impression among the show's many ambitious guests. Barbie Benton was born on January 28, 1950, in New York City. From 1969 to 1976, she had a high-profile romance with Hugh Hefner, the founder of Playboy. Although Hefner proposed several times, their relationship ended in heartbreak due to his infidelity and Barbie's demanding career on tour. Those years made her both famous and emotionally scarred, as she struggled with being seen only as the Playboy muse. In 1979, she married real estate developer George Grado, who brought stability and peace after years of turbulence. After becoming a mother of 2, Barbie chose to step away from Hollywood to dedicate herself fully to family life. While her past continued to follow her, she maintained a strong and lasting marriage. Over 4 decades, a rarity in the entertainment world. Living a quiet and private life, she found happiness in music, home design, and charity work. With a career spanning modeling, singing, and acting, Barbie built a fortune estimated at around $20 million, earned through music, real estate, and her personal brand. Now, at 75 years old, Barbie Benton divides her time between 2 homes, one in Los Angeles and another in Aspen, where she and her husband enjoy a peaceful life amid the mountains. She rarely appears in public, but still radiates beauty and grace, a living testament to a woman who endured fame, heartbreak, and ultimately found serenity. Michelle Phillips as Princess Naya. At 35 years old, Michelle Phillips appeared in Fantasy Island in 1979 as Princess Naya, a mysterious noblewoman whose cold beauty was softened by eyes full of sorrow. Her character came to the island seeking freedom from the chains of fame and love, mirroring Michelle's own life. The blend of elegance and melancholy she brought to the role made Princess Naya one of the most memorable guest appearances of the season. Michelle Phillips was born on June 4, 1944, in Long Beach, California. She went through 3 turbulent marriages, the first to musician John Phillips, co-founder of the Mamas and the Papas. Their artistic love story soon fell apart under the weight of drugs and betrayal. Her whirlwind second marriage to actor Dennis Hopper lasted only 8 days and became a media sensation, while her third marriage to Robert Birch ended quietly. In the years that followed, she devoted herself to raising her daughter, Chinna Phillips, who later became a successful singer, and to rebuilding her life after years marked by emotional abuse, addiction, and loneliness. Despite her painful past, Michelle refused to be defeated. She returned to music and acting, regaining her footing in Hollywood with her acclaimed role as Anne Matheson in Knots Landing and numerous television projects. She once said, "The stage is the only place where I don't have to pretend to be strong." Years later, she found peace in an 18-year relationship with physician Stephen Zacks, which lasted until his passing in 2017. As of 2025, her net worth is estimated at around $6 million, earned through her work in music, film, and television. Now at 81 years old, Michelle Phillips lives quietly in California, occasionally appearing at music reunions alongside her fellow artists from the 1960s generation. She still carries herself with grace, her bright eyes and warm, husky voice reminding fans why she once captured the hearts of millions. These stars left an indelible mark on the hearts of fans, even when their lives ended in tears. Looking back now, do you still remember their smiles on Fantasy Island? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories behind the glittering world of Hollywood.